Yeah.
What's going on, you city folk? This is the Illinois Kid here, coming at you with my second video for the IBL Season 2. Only this time doing something a little bit different. First of all, I have a guest with me this time. It's my brother, Devin, or Ye Win. You can say hi.
Yeah, what's up?
All right, so basically him and I like to think we're pretty good at this game. And we are going to go ahead and do a power ranking of sorts for the other teams in this league. We're not including our own. If you want to see my thoughts on my team, I uploaded a video on my channel. If you want to see his thoughts on his team, I'll tell you right now, it's offensive. He likes it. So,
at the end, maybe we could talk about my team if you'd like. And if we're not.
Well, I already did.
Ridiculous on time.
I already did. It's offensive, and you like it. Like, there you go.
I mean, he pretty much summed it up.
So we actually decided to do an actual ranking, so we went ahead and rated teams 10 to 1st. These ratings are not shots or anything like that. We are just trying to be honest with the players and up front and give constructive criticism, but at the same time, I think everybody did a really nice job on drafting threatening teams.
Okay. 3 of you did an okay. 1 of you did an okay job. 2 of you did a bad job. The other 7, nice job. I'm going to be brutally honest.
So let's get to that one that Devin doesn't agree with. At number 10, it's actually the first on the list here, is Coach Spike and whatever his team is called.
Guy, what the hell? You drafted 4 dark types. I know he's since fixed it with some trade.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, his fixes, in my opinion, don't make the team a lot better, because instead of having 4 dark types, he's got 2 dark types and 3 psychic types.
Yeah, so to say what he did fix, we're power ranking from week 0, so any transactions that were made, we are not counting in this particular power ranking. So Scrafty ended up getting dropped for Gallade, and Umbreon got dropped for Florges, but it's, it might have bumped him up a little bit, but it's still,
But you got 4 dark types, no fairies, 2 psychic types, and you don't really have any sort of offense on this team. The offense that you do have is Tyranitar and Mega Absol, and they both kind of do the same thing. They're both hard-hitting physical dark types. You could run a special Mega Absol, but most of the time you're probably going to be running a physical set. Zygarde 10% does have 1,000 arrows, which is fantastic, but again, very physical. I don't see... Zapdos does have decent special attack.
125, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. 125 is pretty good.
But that's literally it when it comes to special attackers. You've got Zapdos. And Sigilyph isn't reliable for dealing damage.
I don't know what you're talking about. I see a Smeargle, and I'm worried about my switch-ins to a Specs Hyper Voice from that thing, if I'm honest with you.
With its base 20 special attack?
I'm worried, bro. I'm terrified. But
in your boots.
Anyway, not to throw shots or nothing, we just don't. I'm not saying it's not a good team. We just don't see the merit in it. It doesn't make a lot of sense on paper.
I'll be honest. I'm saying it's not a good team.
I'm just trying to be nice.
Ilkid is the will sugarcoat things a bit. I will not. So.
And at least the Z captains made some sort of sense.
Your Z captains did make some sort of sense. I will give you that.
And he's also claiming that he's going to sweep us with Smeargle, and we got to look out. So when that happens, that happens. So next up on the list, number 9, we're going to move over all the way across the board to Coach Madness. Now, I do want to go ahead and preface the fact that this player is very good. I actually asked him to be a part of this league, fully expecting him to say no, because of how just good of a player he is. He's very respected in the monotype community, which kind of shows in his draft because he's up on a lot of typings, and I just think he's a fantastic player. But I just don't particularly like this team he's put together. One way of getting rid of hazards on the entire team, and Mandibuzz. That's it.
Yeah. Madness, what the fuck, dude? You drafted so many types that you already have repeatedly.
And snipe me a Lego for me.
You have offense, you have defense, but the fact is you have an offensive steel type in Magnetism, but you have a defensive steel type in Stack Attack, and neither one want to take an Earth Power or an Earthquake.
Well, Madness out here running that Trick Room Stack Attack and show you some offense. Quit. Actually,
what
though.
Trick Room with.
Cresselia? There you go.
Yeah.
There's a set.
All right. Sure, let's call it a set.
I remember him picking Bulu first. I'm like, we're about to see some heat, and we didn't.
We didn't see any heat, and I'm sorry.
I still really like Madness, though. He drafted Pig Knight because he got mad I sniped Incineroar from him, and apparently there were no bulky fire types left. I'm like, man, Pig Knight doesn't help that. But
no.
Here we are.
And that's his only fire type, too.
Yeah. So here we are with Madness's team.
Like, he might be good, but damn.
He's got his work cut out for him,
this
right?
draft is ugly as well.
All right, well, so next up, number 8, we're going to move over to Mikey's team of the Landers theory and down to the Sceptile. So one of the first things we saw about this team was how all over the place it was, and overall just kind of inconsistency with the fact that he drafted the same Mon first and third. Like,
You've got Lando T, which is fantastic. You've got Mega Scizor, which doesn't make a lot of sense with a Lando T, and then you've got a Garchomp. So literally, you've got 2 mods that are quad weak to any ice move, which HP ice is quite common. And you got a Mega Scizor, which
he cleaned up with Yu and then messed up with Aryu.
But they all physical attackers with 2 of them having decent physical. Well, one of them really good physical defense, the other one really good physical defense because of Intimidate.
And he did all right with his Yu-Yus.
You've got Fortress, which is just the lesser version, non-offensive version of Mega Scizor, and Araquanid. So I don't know what your plan was here.
He cleaned up with Yu-Yus, is what I'm like. It's okay,
Yeah.
But then Aryus went right back down immediately.
It was a confusing OU pick, solid UU picks. What the fuck in RU and U's not bad.
You see, remember whenever I said I thought I had the worst ice type in Pillow-Swine, and then I was like, no, there's Avalugg. We forgot about Vanillux. We forgot.
I'll say this, don't sleep on Vanillux, man.
I'm passed out.
Feel good.
I went to bed 3 hours ago. Went to bed 3 hours ago on Vanillux. And technically Sceptile is his fastest mon.
You know what? Mikey, listen, I like Vanillux. If you want to set it up with a Specs or a Lifeform Blizzard and just hit Okid in the mouth with it,
do it.
My guess.
Bet you won't. And Sceptile is an alright mon, but when you have this big ice weakness, on top of the fact that Sceptile isn't necessarily the greatest mon in the world, and it's your fastest mon, basically your fastest mon kind of becomes Infernape. So you're really capping out at base 108 on most weeks, and that's just going to be very hard speed tier-wise to work with.
Yeah.
But other than that, we like your team.
You probably scarf the Garchomp quite a bit to help mitigate that, or maybe the Lando, but either way, it's not ideal.
We like your UUs and we like your first pick. Is basically what we're saying.
I like your first 2 picks, to be honest, because I like Mega Scizor. It's a very good offensive mod, but you just didn't do a good job building around that Lando T or the Mega Scizor. If you wanted to have Lando T just to have Lando T because he's a good mod, I could get that, and then build a team around Mega Scizor. I see nothing wrong with that. But you failed to build a team around either Lando T or Mega Scizor, and it's just kind of, you've got Infernape and Toxicroak and Tentacool.
And hey, prove us wrong,
Yeah.
Prove us wrong for sure, and we'll shut up.
I'll love to see it.
All right, next up, number 7 now. Now, this is where, like I said, there were 7 great teams. We had a really hard time rating these, and this particular coach, you don't got to feel discouraged because it's kind of lower, because you did have some good competition, and I still think you're one of the better coaches here. Despite some of the picks you made being a little questionable, especially those bottom. I'm talking about Coach Shicro being at number 7. My little guy. I team built with him a lot. Taught him a couple things about Mons. This is his second league ever. And it's looking like a really good second league ever team. Man, nothing really sticks out to me on this draft. It's good together, but nothing really sticks out, if that makes sense.
Heatran Mega Venusaur looks fantastic.
Yeah, very good core.
I'll give you that. That's pretty outstanding.
Also underused, very underused. Like, how many teams have you seen run Heatran Mega Venusaur? And it makes so much sense just looking at it.
It does. No, it does. He couldn't get Bulu because that was taken, so he went with the next best thing, which is Mega Venusaur.
He questionably had the best OUs. He's in conversation to have the best OUs for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get to the guy who probably has the best OU Mons in a minute.
Well, other than me, But. All right, but whenever you went down to UU, I really respected the first two. It didn't make sense to me for you to grab Mienshao so early, though. I like how you got everything you wanted, but I think in a drafting perspective, you could have waited on Mienshao. It's not all that sought out of a Mon compared to some of the other fighting types. Like, you had Ape to play with that people wanted, and there's other types of Mons like that, other fighting Mons that I'm drawing a blank on right now. Thank you. But then I really don't like how Raikou is your fastest Mon. That bothers me. But
115.
It's just my preference. I've seen base 115 only Mons usually work in leagues like this.
The only way that you can fix that and make Raikou, and again, I told no kid this earlier, just run Protect on Yanmega, and there's your fastest Mon.
There you go.
But you're losing out on Tinted Lens. So.
Yeah. And not to mention, I didn't even think about this until just now, if he wants to run Aura Sphere, he has to run Rash. So now his fastest Mon is Mienshao, and that's looking even uglier.
At that point, which is even worse.
That's looking even uglier. But enough of the negatives. You really did draft a nice team.
I'm going to say one more nitpick.
Okay. I almost forgot.
Doesn't make a lot of sense. Yes, he's a rapid spinner, but you've got a far superior offensive water type that actually has some bulk to it just because it is a fairy type, and it does give it that bulk just due to typing.
And I forgot a negative. Claydol sucks. Put a trash can next to that Mon.
You've got Apuria and Claydol and for your ground types, and neither one are good, in my opinion.
And I don't see the Wobbuffet wave myself. I know it's probably a lot of value at NU, whatever, but I don't see. Not really that scared of it, personally.
I can't say a lot because I drafted Wishcash, but that was maybe just for joke purposes, but still.
Yeah.
I do have a dog fan.
I think Shy just liked Wobbuffet for Wobbuffet.
Dude, Wobbuffet is going to claim some lives.
And it's going to shut me up, huh?
They're not going to be prepared for it. It's going to hit you with a counter, and one of your Mons are just going to explode.
All right, now, something I just kind of hit me, because we have but now we're aiming to the number 6 spot now. And I just realized that we actually had Midget in the number 6 spot. Do you want to make Caleb the number 6 spot? Just quick editing?
No.
Just off a quick glance? Okay, so Caleb's still better?
Yeah.
All right. So Midget's next. I spoiled the list. Oh, no. I just had to make sure. Midget's next, though. So I honestly, and I'm going to be honest with you, the very first initial thought to why I wanted to rate this team so low on top of it is the kid didn't even draft it. He drafted 4 of the Mons in Mega Sableye, Greninja, Nidoking, and Volcanion. The rest were drafted by a combination of me, Spike, and TP as the draft went on because he had some IRL stuff going on and he hasn't played the game in 13 years is what he said. So he needed our help in that regard to build him a nice team to kind of work with. It's a little scummy, I know, but it's a lot of people's first time, and it's no big deal. It's not like he's one of the top-end competitors. No offense to him. He's just new. So, yeah, other than that, did get a nice team going. Nothing really wrong with it, per se.
I like Mega Sableye. It is annoying. It is frustrating to go against. And I hate it, and I love it at the same time.
Because you got stalled out by it and a Clefable one time. Remember that?
Yeah. you have a Greninja, which a lot of people will see and think, oh, it's 2 dark types. Not really. We don't allow Battle Bond in this league, so that's
We
going to
allow
be Protean
Protean.
or Protean, whatever the hell you want to call
Yeah.
it. So it'll be Stab, whatever. And as you can see, it's one of his Z movers. So it'll be Stab, pick a Z move. It's a good offensive line. And the fact that Kieran Black was his third that lasted that long, it almost went undrafted.
Well,
I
that's a
drafted
first
Kieran
round
Black
pick.
last season, and I think it got around 25 kills. And so the fact that it almost went undrafted entirely baffles me. But I'm glad to see it on this team. I also see Nidoking on this team, which is a hard one to prep for. Because it can do all the things offensively that you need it to do. There's a bunch of different, it gets good coverage. Sheer force with the life orb is just ridiculous. You've got a really good fairy in Sylveon. You've got a rapid spinner and Hitmontop. You've got reliable defog in Rotom. So Registeel is a fantastic steel type. I like your team a lot. UT being a Z captain, I'm sure maybe like Z Memento maybe to get something up to full. That could be utility. Overall, I like the team.
Yeah, me too. I guess the only reason why you would be as low as you are is a lot of, per se, one-dimensional offense. 9 times out of 10, people are going to see what your mods are, and they know what they're going to do. There's not a lot of wiggle room there. There are some that have, like Greninja, and even Yuxi. Nidoking can go either or, and Kieran Black can be an enigma as well. But it's just a lot of times Rotom is going to be doing that one thing. Registeel's going to be doing that one thing.
And again, it's not like your team has a lot of issues. It's just other people drafted better teams. You have a really good team.
Questionably, you're in there with Caleb. There was like there are some points like Madness and Spike. We actually had like a 2-point difference, and with this, it'd also be that 2-point, maybe even 1-point difference.
For sure. I guess we can move on to Caleb.
Yeah.
Next.
Speaking of which, top 5. Caleb.
Yeah, top 5.
So
Caleb, good God, Celesteela, Megaladios, Clefable.
Caleb has the best mod in draft.
This is
unarguably.
Whenever you were talking about Shy Crow's team having one of the best 3 OU picks, I was like, yeah, there's one that's better in my opinion, and that's this one right here. Celesteela, Megaladios, Clefable. I can't think of a better fantasy core for draft. I can't.
It's the right amount of defensive and offensive Dragon Fairy Steel that just makes you go, wow. And the only reason he did this was because last season, J-Law did this. So he decided that he was going to do it too. And here we are.
It works. And J-Law didn't get to stick around for very long, but hey, Caleb, let's see you stick around for the whole league and play with this team.
Because Caleb didn't stick around for that long either.
Well, yeah, well, again, real life happens.
Celebi is so underrated.
Rotom Heat and Celebi.
Celebi is so underrated.
I like it.
Ridiculously underrated. If it wasn't so weak to U-turn, though. But then he's got, he actually made, in my opinion, kind of a questionable pick with Dragalge, but I do see the value in it.
Yeah, adaptability specs Draco does not feel good.
It was going to be the only reason why I drafted Crawdaunt, but I decided to go with Suicune last minute.
Yeah. And then you've got
Cloyster.
Cloyster, which is can set up a shell smash and just win games.
And then P2, man. I always say you need to put P2 next to a reliable heal beller. Because if you don't, P2's going to get toxic, then that's going to sit there all game, and there ain't going to be nothing you can do about it. And you did in Clef, and then even Lottie gets like Healing Wish and stuff. And then I think Celebi gets Aromatherapy Heal Bell too. So you've drafted good clerics around this mon, and I appreciate you for it. A difference in opinion was with that first NU pick there, where Yewin and I don't like it, and he does. I don't like that it's also his fastest mon.
And then, unless you're talking about shields down Minior,
Shields down Minior, yeah.
Which becomes your fastest spawn at that point. But Andy-Pom being your fastest spawn is not ideal.
And then Torterra is just Torterra, you know. It's the meme.
It's got its uses. Very limited uses. Same thing as Minior. I mean, Minior is a good switch in for like a toxic that you don't want to have on like your unaware Clefable, or if you don't want your Megaladios or Swampert getting toxic, just throw out your Minior, because while it's in its core mode, won't be affected by it, which is good.
He sees a lot of value in Minior, though, as a sweeper.
Absolutely, because, I mean, again, Shell Smash, get below 50 HP, and win the game.
With acrobatics and such.
So,
pretty strong bird spam there, as he was lacking before.
Yeah.
So I guess that's there for that reason. It's in question, you know, you and Midget and everything like that. Sure. We personally think that the bottom half of your draft was questionable enough to be at the number 5 spot, and it's not like it couldn't have been a top 3 team, and we didn't talk about it being a top 3 team, because these next 4 teams are just very great.
The next 4, the difference between second place and fourth place is like from to like within a point of each one of each other.
We both agree a team ran away with it, though. There was a team that ran away with it, and we'll talk about that when we get there.
When we get there, good God.
All right, so number 4 though, we have Royal Elite, one of the newbies, his first time ever playing competitive Mons. Him and his big bro sat down and tried to craft a team off of a couple key interests that Royal had, and sometimes you just get that W. Sometimes.
Knocked it out of the park, man.
So
you've got
Jirachi is do everything type of Mon.
Evan, I lost a game to a Jirachi, flinching me 5 times in a row with a crit last season.
You never lose when Jirachi's on your team. It's not over yet.
It's never like he had a Jirachi and a Mega Beedrill. This is TP. And
screw that kid. I'm gonna make that a meme.
The day was won for me, and his Jirachi decided to say, "Nope, we're gonna flinch 5 times in a row." And then crit on one of them. So
he's still a little salty about that one.
Absolutely.
And then you have one of the premier OU mods on your team with Gliscor. One of the premier draft mods. This mod's dumb good in draft.
Mod is stupid good, man.
And then you're gonna end it off with Mega Diancie. Like, get out of here. Leave the league. you're done. You're done. Because his Dragon Fairy Steel was just as amazing as any of them, really. Like, the only one that is better is Caleb's. Like, I'm pretty sure that he's got a solid number 2. And I'm saying that with Coco, Zygarde, and my bum-ass Steel type. But I like Klefki, alright? I like Klefki, alright?
I do too. I would say close third for Dragon Steel Fairy Core.
Yeah, it's
Mighty Midget as well. Kyurem Black, Sylveon, and Registeel.
It's just a lot of good cores. A lot of good cores. Yeah, and then Darmanitan, as it is, 1 set. You bring 1 Darmanitan set. Still a good set.
Yeah, you bring a Choice Scarf with Flare Blitz, Rock Slide.
U-turn.
2 moves.
If you're Scarf, then U-turn for sure. I don't like that Amoonguss and Gliscor share the same weakness, though, and they're supposed to be your bulky mons. I don't really appreciate that. It's another reason why you got tacked down but below the other 3, honestly. My Lodic is, like, really nice as an absolutely any Ice-type move. I got it. Like, there's nothing that my Lodic can't take Ice-wise. And then the one-dimensionalness starts to show with mons like Galvantula, Honchkrow, heck, even Amoonguss and Darmanitan. Miss Magius can Sub-Calm Mind or be choiced. And then Hitmonlee can be a nice Unburden mod. So
that's a really good Unburden mod. You can do a lot of fun things with that. Like
was going to be on my team if I didn't draft Megalophony.
Yeah. You've got And Miluta can be very offensive too.
Yeah, that too.
Get that competitive Miluta going.
He's got webs on this team, which it's not like he's got the fastest team in the world. I do believe he caps out at Mega DHC. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, 350. Yeah.
Which is slower than the other teams I was griping about, but at least you paired it with webs, you know.
you gave yourself webs, which does help mitigate the 350 speed.
We literally all have relatively slow teams except two, and that'd be me and Shadow. Shadow has next level. Shadow has next level speed tiers though. I don't know why I keep getting off track with Royal though. I don't know why I keep getting off track with Royal. But Royal is definitely a number 4 contender.
Your team is very good, Royal. One-dimensional in some aspects is what hurts your team a bit. And
awesome Z-caps. Awesome Z-caps, though.
About, which we'll just go ahead and just bring it up now. Butter. You have a fantastic team. From top to bottom.
Yeah.
All right. Kragon roll is questionable.
Especially next to Mammal Swine, but other than that.
And that's about it. The reason you are third is because you have Megazord X paired with a Tapu Fini.
Yeah, and I know most of the people who would be watching this would probably wonder, is it really that bad? I know we are already doing week 1 matches, and I was actually mocking with Butter here, because, he's one of my best friends, known him forever. And Dragon Claw, +1 Dragon Claw was doing like 70 to this Araquanid set that I had, but it ended up doing 43 after the Misty Terrain. It just hinders your top pick a lot. I'm not saying you should change it though. I'm just saying that you're not getting all the value out of Zardex that you would have had that been that Toxapex that you got sniped out of. I'm not honestly saying there is a better option. As a matter of fact, you can get away with a couple weeks where you don't even run the Dragon stat. You can totally get away with that. But it's just gonna be.
It will be an issue that you're gonna have to work around in some fights. Yes, I know you probably wanted Toxapex, but that got taken before you. But hey, you gotta live with the choices.
Second biggest reason was no poison type, speaking of which.
You don't have a poison type. So toxic spikes are going to be a problem.
And you can argue the terrain and everything, but terrain doesn't last forever, and Finny can get punished by defog. Especially by a toxic spike setter.
Yeah.
Because what are they? Poison types, right? Unless your name's Kofag.
Yeah.
Serp is really interesting on a team like this. It makes sense next to Zard X offensively, and it even makes sense to Mamo offensively, because they take care of the ice types per se, or ice types, grass types is what I meant to say. Grass types per se that Leaf Storm is resisted by, and Mamo is I can't think of too many dragons that Mamo can't take on with nice sash sets or like banded ice shards and stuff. Put them in range of Leaf Storms. It's a nice tandem. It's a nice tandem. You have enough. No, I'm almost just fibbed.
Zork is just a fun mon.
Yeah, especially in a league like this. Especially in a league like this with a lot of low skill cap kind of players. New people. It's gonna work really well.
Definitely, it'll be fun.
I just realized he only has 2 stealth rockers.
And good speed tiers as well.
He's got 3 stealth rockers.
That's good.
Archeops isn't really a stealth rocker. Oh, Lord.
What'd you say?
Archeops isn't really a stealth rocker. But he also has spikes in a Selgora. Can't give him too much crap on that.
And toxic spikes.
With a Selgora, yep.
So.
And then Lax is one of his favorite mons. I told him to really focus on drafting Butter Machine mons. His full name is Butter Machine. Like, make sure you stick to Butter Machine mons. And that would be Lax on his team. He is drafting a relatively new team to him, other than that Snorlax. He really likes this mon. He just likes how it can take every hit after curses. Like, he's a big fan. And
it's a good mon, for sure.
Yeah, let's say hell. I am too. Very sorry about that.
Problems is Dewblade. very susceptible to knockoff because you're always going to be running an Eviolite on it, I'm sure. Whereas you do have a Cavalion that you can switch in and get a justified boost, but still.
Yeah. I like that little mind game, but I mean at the same time, why not Slicker with Quick, right? Or Fire Move.
Exactly, because he's got trash bags for special defense.
Yeah, I also really don't like how he just has no real recovery on this team. All of his walls just struggle with clicking the moves recover. Like Snorlax can eat berries and rest, but
that's about it.
They can't recover. His walls have a really hard time clicking the moves recover, like Tapu Fini and things like that. I mean, Zard X can roost on bulkier sets, but I mean, it's not one of his more viable sets for sure. But
Tapu Fini's recovery consists of leftovers Aqua Ring or Z Haze.
Yeah, but other than that, dude, you're a great player. You drafted a great team. We definitely like it. It's top 3.
For sure.
So now going to number 2. Is it TP or Shadow? Is it TP or Shadow? It is Shadowed. No, we decided to make Shadow number 2. First of all, I know I just said what I said about Selly being the best mon in draft, but this thing's right there with it. You know what I'm saying? Magearna, the very first pick.
This is Magearna sitting right here.
The very first pick of the draft. He had number 1 OU, and he spent it right on Magearna.
Yeah.
You followed it up with...
available. You take one of those.
You followed it up with the most versatile mon in the format. And then you got Arena Trap Dougie, which is just going to be absolutely monstrous. Yeah. Offensively and defensively, he hit so many... Offensively and defensively, he hit so many points with just these first 3. You know what I mean? It's just so nice. And then he goes on to get Komodo, adding to that setup that Magearna has with Shift Gear and Mew with like Rock Polish and things like that. He goes on to get Zero Aura, continuing the wall breaking aspect of things like Doug Trio to kind of open the door for, we'll say, yeah,
one
to
of the many mods that he can sweep with.
Yeah, open the door. Anything. I mean, really, Zera just can't hit like bulky grasses. Like, it really has nothing for those. That's about it. But then you got Mega Arrow.
You got Fire Punch. What you talking about, boy?
I feel like he's got Mega Arrow to counter those grass types as well. So it's looking really good for him in that regard. And he's got enough Toxic Spikes and Spike Spam with Roserade. Lanoon is a cool sweeper, especially in this generation. Arcanine is a steal as your last RU pick. And then Slowbro was a nice early investment for Enya.
Thick defensively, decent Spadef. You get Regenerator with it. Gets access to Calm Mind, which makes it very good. Helps mitigate that lack of, I guess, not as good a special defense stat as its defense, but good defensive, good bulky water type.
All right,
and then you ran into some problems.
Yeah, so now that we're done praising you, let's talk about these last 2 picks real quick. Let's talk about these last 2 picks. The best mods drafted,
the Avalon
period.
Has merit. I'll give you that.
Havalug? I Skunk Tank. Avalug barely has merit. Bulky Ice doesn't exist. Avalug barely has merit.
Avalug is the only bulky ice that you can call a bulky ice type because it's got base 184 defense with a decent HP stat. I know Koichi's got base 184.
Let's get the
HP stat.
Let's get the roast out of the way with Skunk Tank real quick. This mod is...
What the hell?
This mod...
This is your dark type?
This mod has potential to be one of the worst mods drafted.
3 attack and like 71 special attack with like... It's got good coverage, sure.
Its abilities suck.
Attacker, but you don't have a special attacking stat. It's a problem.
It's like Gourgeist. Gourgeist has all the special moves, but it's base 50. It's like this situation here. Definitely the worst dark type drafted.
Absolutely, by far. And you'd think Spike would have, with one of his 4 drafted dark types, he'd have hit the worst one. Nope. You went with one, you got the worst one. Tip my hat to you.
But man, other than that, we did just talk about how great your team is, because it is.
Really, like, just a really, really good team. And
another gripe is Dougie should have been the Z captain. McGearna don't need it.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, Kamoa probably don't need. I think McGearna could have put that Kamoa spot, and then you made Dougie that Z captain just for like Z memento or something. I don't see what you're gonna do. Does Z shift gear cool? I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
Probably not.
What does it do?
I think it just resets your negative stats. I think it just resets your negative stats.
Like all those
Like
dumb Z moves. Ugly. But yep, that would be Shadow's team. And let's talk about the man that ran away with it all. The only reason why Royals team is even decent. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Lanoon himself. TP 123101. Bro, night and day compared to your last team, bro. Like, you have hit the books. You hit everything I like. Like, you literally hit that. Like, I sat there, I was sitting here trying to find things that were bad with this team. Like, it's ground week. Which then there's just still Chestnut there. Yes, it is, with like Gigalith and
Chestnut,
Mega Main and Victini, Excadrill.
He's got a Crobat.
And a Crobat too, I know. I was sitting there trying to find reasons. Vaporeon. Bro, this team is really good.
He's got a lot of thick mobs to eat those ground types. Just to laugh in their faces. I don't know why we let you have Tapu Lele and Excadrill. I don't know why we did that, but we did.
Yeah, we sure did.
And we shouldn't have done that.
He was the last pick in OU, too. He was the last pick in OU, and look what he got. What is going on?
You got a friggin' Victini. Good grief.
He kind of panicked on the Mega Main.
And then it just keeps going with the offense. You got a Crobat, great Defogger. You got Mega Manectric. Holy crap. I mean, you got one set with Mega Manectric, but it's a really, really, really good set.
Kira, most underrated dragon. Most underrated dragon, easily.
Probably.
And then it's still a strong ice type, too. Base 130 in both offenses, man. Like, oh, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kofag and Gigalith are like the same mon, except not really. If that makes sense.
What the hell was that?
They have literally the same stats. Like, almost identical. They take the same physical hits the same way. Chestnut I feel the same way about, honestly. You just really got nice type diversity there.
The type diversity. Gigalith, you get that, Sandstream that Excadrill will love.
Yeah, you got a Sand Setter. You got a Sand Setter. I think you could have waited on that too, but other than that, man, NU's we're gonna say the best, right? Like the only one that rivals that is that's me. But other than that, man, I think we're gonna say that's the best NU selection right there. Especially since you got a Alolan Persian last. He was sitting there complaining.
God, yeah.
He was sitting there complaining I didn't have a dark type. I said, boy, Alolan Persian is right there. You don't get him right now. This is the last pick of the draft too, because I'm pretty sure he was last in NU as well.
Yeah.
It took forever to pick the spawn too. It was like literally an hour because he went to go do stuff and he was the last pick, so we didn't care. But this is just, you really outdid yourself here. You really outdid yourself.
Now you just got to translate that into wins.
Yes, get wins.
Yeah, get wins.
All right, so
you got a good team.
Those are our official power rankings for the season.
We're not professionals at all whatsoever, so feel free to make fun of us below. How bad we are at analyzing teams, because we know these are just our opinions.
So I want to go ahead and ask you, just out of curiosity, just to spice things up. I'll ask you two questions. Let's get the easy one out of the way first. For one, give me a playoff bracket right now. Give me a playoff bracket of who you think is going to be shining in this league, team and coach skill and all. Let's hear it. I believe the playoff bracket is going to be a 4-man, just like last season. I could be wrong, but let's just go ahead and do a 6-man. That's half the league. That's half the league. Never mind.
No, that makes sense though. You get the first 2 seeds get a bye week in that situation.
Right, but just for the sake of the conversation, since we're not singling out half the league, and also don't include us. Playoff, imaginary kind of playoff bracket for 4 teams that we just talked about.
4 teams. All right.
Kind of a weird question, I know, but it's just to kind of gauge conversation and stuff. I'm starting to think of my list while you think as well. I'll let you go first too.
Spike and Caleb, I'm going to disqualify. I like Spike. And I know he's going to probably make tweaks to his team, but I don't think his team is going to give him playoffs. I don't think Caleb is going to get to playoffs either with this team because it's going to be something kind of new to him. And this is probably he wasn't really with us last season. I mean, so he's going to have to get back on his feet from that. I like your team a lot, but I want prove me wrong. All right, Caleb. Spike, I don't know if you make playoffs. Holy crap! I'll be amazed. Just so you know, Spike. I'll be very impressed. Shadow, I think you can make playoffs. Shacro, you can probably make playoffs. I'm gonna go with the last two. I'll go with Butter Machine and TP. So I guess those four.
So how do you think that the seeding is going to work? Who's going to get like first to last out of those guys?
Out of those guys, I think Shadow would be the first seed. Followed by Shacro, TP, and Butter.
I was going to say I think Butter would be either second or first, personally. We pretty much have the same four. And we actually have exactly the same four.
I'm saying Shadow first seed, Shacro second seed, TP third seed, Butter fourth seed.
No, I get it now, so yeah.
Yeah.
So I pretty much agree with that. I might switch up TP and Shy just because of the teams.
Yeah.
Like I think Butter would be a pretty comfortable first or second. Either Shadow or Butter would be a pretty comfortable first or second, and then
right.
TP then Shy. And then one more thing. I was going to say top 10. Let's go ahead and do top 5. Make a top 5 predicted kill list. Let's see how accurate we can be with this as the season goes on. Who is getting? What are the 5 mods that are getting the most kills?
Not counting our own.
No, we'll count our own this time.
Or are we counting our own?
We'll count our own this time.
Okay. Volcarona is going to murder things. It's going to murder all.
Okay, so is it 5th or is it like top 3?
2
like,
or
what do you think?
At the lowest, I feel.
All right.
I think that's not me just being confident in Volcarona. That's me being confident in myself as well. I am pretty arrogant. Kieran Black, God, that thing just murders things as well.
Well, this is actually coach skill now being in play.
Sure, but I don't think it requires a whole lot of skill to click Fusion Bolt, kill Mon. Doesn't take a lot of skill to just click a Fusion Bolt and secure a kill. Or click Z-move, click Free Shot, and just Sub-Zero Slam or something and get a kill. Not that hard.
Great.
Jirachi's going to probably be in the top 5 just because Serene Grace is going to just hack so many things to death. Mega Lopunny is going to get lots of kills just because.
Thanks.
It hits so hard. And Doug Trio for revenge killing.
I think you said 6.
Have the most revenge kills by at least 5. And that's probably where it's going to get the bulk of its kills from, is just coming in, killing something, getting out because of Arena Trap.
All right. So my list is looking just a little different. Coming in at number 5 for me is actually going to be that Lele. I feel like TP is going to pop off the most with Lele. I feel like him and Drill is going to be a learning experience, especially trying to find weeks where it's going to work with Gigalith. But I think Lele is going to be that solid bring that he brings every week that can potentially get a couple kills per game, which is of course going to amount to 22 kills. Almost said 20 because there's 12 teams, 11 weeks. I think for 4th place, I might throw it to that Zard X. The only reason why I wouldn't be higher is because of the train. As a matter of fact, it probably wouldn't even be top 5, actually. I'm a liar. I'm actually, no, I know what I was going to say. Salamence. I think Salamence is going to be number 4.
That's fair.
I for sure think that Shycrow's game plan a lot of weeks is going to be Dragon Dancing with that thing to win. I think it's one of his most viable. I think it's one of his most viable ways to win most weeks. Number 3, I'm actually going to have your Kartana.
I debated between Volcarona and Kartana.
I think Volcarona is going to get a lot of kills, but I truly think you're going to get like 4 kills, like for 3 weeks with Kartana, and then have consistent amounts throughout, and just barely beat out that Volcarona.
I was talking to TP, and I said, "Watch what." I said I'll probably have like top 3 spots when it comes to kills with just my top 3 alone. And he said, "There's no way." So I want to have at least 2 of the top 5 spots. Damn. Just to kind of rub it in his face.
I'm actually going to go ahead and see, this number 2 spot is shaky for me because I was determined with 1, but I'm kind of starting to maybe take it back because I'm just trying to factor in how I think the coach will do. If that makes sense, because my second one was going to be Lando T, but yeah, so
I don't know how Mikey plays with Lando T.
So I'm actually going to go ahead and give that spot risky enough to Magirna because I don't think Shadow's going to use it offensively every week, but I just feel like it's going to get a couple 6-0s, you know what I mean? So it's going to clinch that second spot. And I'm sorry, I might be biased, but I truly think my Megalopony is going to get the most kills this season. Granted, I land my high jump kicks. If I don't land my high jump kicks, then I won't. But if I do,
you're gonna miss all your high jump kicks.
Then I will. I have to land my high jump kicks on those choice weeks. I literally have to, or else I will actually lose them on outright. So if I land my high jump kicks, I can put myself in the right position. I truly think my Megalopony is going to get the most kills this season. I think Coco might scratch the top 10, as well as I believe the same for Zygarde, and I think Volcarona is going to scratch the top 10 as well as I believe for Keldeo. But that's just obviously just a whatever kind of list that we just threw together real quick. You know, we have to let the season play out.
We didn't talk about my team, but whenever he said at the beginning, it's offensive. If at any point you pause to look at the team underneath your win, you will see that he's not kidding. I don't believe in switch-ins. They're not a thing on my team.
Doesn't like him, not a fan.
No.
His only switch-ins are bulk offense. Like Alolan Muck and Donphan.
Yeah, Assault Vessel, Alolan Muck, and his Death Donphan. There's your defense. Go kill things. Have fun.
Well, hey, thanks for listening to our rambling. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever. Thanks for checking me out. And as for me and my partner, Ye Win, hopefully we'll be bringing more videos like this. I actually kind of hope to maybe like set up replays. Maybe get with him one day a week, and set up these replays and kind of talk about them back to back. Maybe it's a little fun thing to do because we fuck around, talk about Mons all the time. So yeah. I can definitely see us wanting to do something like that on the camera, and me having some more content to upload for you guys because I really want to cover this season as I missed out on last season. But either way, I think I hear Papa calling. Got to get back to the tractor. Thank you for listening to our video, and we'll catch y'all later. Bye, ya.